Hello, Geospace. I hope that you guys are all doing well. I am here just to go over um, Monday, April 6th weekly agenda with you. This week is a piggyback off of last week where you made a rough draft drawing, hopefully, of the scientific description of your impact from climate change. Um, and you should have had that done before you move into this week. The three things to be done this week: step away for a moment from the rough draft or from your own impact, and watch the Ed puzzle that is linked in the Ed puzzle open class for you. It's called Our Rising Oceans. It is about obviously the connection between melting ice in this case in Antarctica and the rising sea levels that subsequently happen when all of that fresh water melts into the ocean. And they look at Antarctica, and then they look at the impact of a low-lying country, in this case Bangladesh, the impact of rising sea levels on that specific country. And so take a moment to watch the Ed puzzle, then step back into your impact and do a final draft of your scientific drawing from the note guide that you did last week. I have a copy given to you that looks like this. It's called Climate Impact Scientific Drawing. It says use your notes from those climate change slides that we looked at last week and create a more detailed scientific drawing that connects how increased greenhouse gases and global temperatures contribute to your specific impact. Again, you may draw it digitally in like a Google drawing, or you could do it by hand and then take a screenshot and upload it, but add it to this document when you are done. Some differences between the rough draft and the final draft are that you need a title for your drawing. You need an image that is more clearly depicting at least the Earth, the Sun, the atmosphere, and greenhouse gases. Some of you kind of missed out on that last week, and that's okay because it was a rough draft, and now we're doing the final draft. You need words included in this image. Minimum words would be greenhouse gases, atmosphere, heat, sun, but notice that it says also others related to your topic. So if you're talking about migration of either animals or people, if you're talking about increased disease, you're going to want to include other words that directly relate to your topic in your drawing. You need to add some color, and you need to have some arrows that show some movement and some connections. The image will go here. Make it as detailed as possible. I'm going to show you an example in a moment, but this is what eventually is going to be added to your third page on your newsletter. And so I have the requirements for page 3 also posted this week. That is in fact your third item to do. But it's essentially taking that drawing that you've just made and adding it to Canva and then writing a paragraph that describes it. And so when it's done, it should look something like this. This is Canva, which you guys have been in now for several weeks, hopefully. Notice that I have a title of my impact. I have my scientific drawing. This is one of the examples that I had showed you later last week, with all of the descriptions and the words associated with the images that should be there. The connection between increased greenhouse gas, in this case emitted from a tractor. In your case, you could draw CO2 emitted from a factory or whatever your option is. You just have to have in some way greenhouse gases associated. But notice the important part is that it gets harder to grow. This topic, I should say, is agriculture in Colorado. The impact of changing climate on how Colorado agriculture is. And the takeaway is that it gets much harder to grow crops when there is a small change in average temperature and also a change in rainfall and seasonal conditions. All of that obviously tied into the fact that these greenhouse gases are collecting more heat, which is then changing the global average temperature, which then is changing the climate, and then eventually comes back and affects and makes this impact drastic. So below it, if we go back to the requirements, I have my caption, which talks about a step-by-step beginning with the sun, how that greenhouse effect works and how that is impacting my specific topic. You need to have it look good, right? It should take up a large portion of the page. The paragraph should take up the remaining, and it should be nice and neat. So notice on mine, it's not perfect. I'd probably actually make this a little bit bigger, my paragraph a little larger, but that's all that has to happen. So this week, again, 3 items: the Ed puzzle, the final draft drawing, example here of your topic, and then finally add that to Canva. When you're done, go ahead and hit turn in. As always, with any questions, if you feel hung up or if you need some ideas, please send me an email. We can get together via chat or just email back and forth. But I hope you're all doing well. That is the week. See you guys later.